It's like we put so much like pressure on one thing, and then it becomes impossible to do.
Do you want me to do the intro?
No. Right, this is the last chance, and if I don't get it, then you got it. But I'm gonna get it right here. Just don't laugh at me for not getting it. All right.
All right.
Hey guys, Talon and Jerred here, and we're back with a new experiment on juicing. This is something that's gonna. All right, no, you got it.
Hey guys, Jared Moon here with Talon Schwam for another Better Humanology experiment podcast. Today we're talking about juicing, not the Barry Bonds type juicing, but the kale and apple type of juicing and the health benefits that it can have for you. But before we hop into that, I do want to say head over to betterhumanology.com and sign up for a free membership, and you get all sorts of free stuff, free ebooks, free training programs, and a lot more. So go check that out.
Well, if you're gonna go ahead and tell them to go do some stuff, hey guys, if you're gonna do some stuff, might as well go over to iTunes.com and sign up and review our podcast there.
And that would be greatly appreciated as well.
Yeah, you could rate it 5 stars too. That'd be fantastic.
If you think it's 5 stars,
If you think it's no stars,
whatever you think it is.
If you think it's no stars, then by all means, don't go to iTunes and rate our show.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
I ran until my muscles burned and my veins pumped battery acid.
More powerful than a locomotive.
An idea is like a virus, resilient, highly contagious.
Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound.
So today's topic, juicing.
Juicing.
What do you know about juicing?
I know the benefits of juicing.
Like good benefits?
Yeah,
Are there bad benefits?
Helpful stuff. Like, all the positives. You want to hear them?
I do want to hear them.
So, juicing helps you absorb all the nutrients from the vegetables in your body. Juicing helps you to consume a healthier amount of vegetables in an efficient manner. Also helps you have a wider variety of vegetables in your diet. It promotes weight loss, boosts your immune system, increases energy, and supports your brain health.
Sounds like a better human-worthy trial to me.
Yeah, sounds like it makes you into a better human by doing so.
Yeah, but before we do that, I do want to talk about the negatives a little bit because there are definitely two sects, camps, whatever, when it comes to juicing. The people who are like all for it and the people who are against it. And as a guy who's like 80, 90% paleo 100% of the time, I have mixed feelings on juicing just because there are some negatives with juicing. Like, you're not going to be getting as much fiber, and then there's a lot of sugar coming in with juicing because, like, if you wanted to eat, you can juice 15 carrots and have a glass of juice, but you can't sit there and eat 15 carrots, so you're going to get a lot more sugar, a lot more carbohydrates, which is not necessarily a good thing for you. So there are some good, there's a lot of good, and there are some bad, but I think as long as you're using it as a jump start to whatever it is, whether it's you want to lose a little bit of weight or boost your immune system or whatever you're trying to do, I think juicing is a great place to start. I think the people who are like so gung-ho in either direction say that it's either amazing or good needs to see the gray area in juicing because I think that it can be a really good way to get things started to a healthier lifestyle. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. We actually have an interview with none other than Tony Moon, who's my dad. We'll be talking to him about juicing.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, so we didn't actually do an experiment this week because we're slackers.
Well, I mean, wait, I'm confused. So juicing's not steroids?
Right. I forget. I always have to. I was actually that happened to me once. I was talking to let's call him a coach, I guess, when I was in the Air Force, and I was like, I had just started doing juicing, like fruits and vegetables, and I was like, hey man, what do you think about juicing? And he's like, he literally like went on this like 5-minute rant about steroid use and performance enhancing drugs, and I was like, oh man, I should have been more clear on what I meant by juicing. But yeah, we should have started with that.
Yeah, because I was confused. That was the reason I didn't do the experiment this week. Because I thought we were supposed to be taking steroids.
Right.
And I just didn't want to do that.
I didn't want to bring myself down that level, or up to that level, if you will.
No, we didn't do juicing this week because for the benefits that we talked about that juicing does, we didn't feel like it would fit necessarily into what we're trying to progress in right now with our bodies.
Right. Yeah. I'm too scared to fast. In all honesty, I train a lot. I make a lot of progress in strength and conditioning, and so I didn't want to do a juice fast. Maybe we're not better humans for skipping out on this experiment, but my dad went the extreme route and really came through and did a 15-day juice fast and saw amazing results. So we just had to have him on the show because a better humanness or attempting to be a better human runs in the family, and that's what he's trying to do. So we wanted to get this experiment documented, recorded, and talk to him about what juicing is like, because I know a lot of people probably want to know about juicing, and so we kind of got to the bottom of it through a family member.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the best way to find out straight from the horse's mouth, like I've said before, how the extreme 15-day program, how it affects your body. So I'm really excited to talk to Tony Moon here.
Yeah, and before we talk to him, I do want to throw out my disclaimers of just juicing in general. I said like it has the pros and the cons, but what you need to be thinking about after the fact, after you're finished with your juice fast, if you decide to do one, you've done your research and you've talked to your health professional and everything, and you decide to do a juice fast, is you have to have a solid plan for what's next. You can't just like have a crappy diet, juice for 5 days, and then have a crappy diet. You need to have a transition plan. And my recommendation for me is going to be something along the paleo diet, just because I don't even like to say I'm paleo anymore, because I have made my own blend. I eat probably more carbohydrates than most paleo people are comfortable with, but that just helps me with training and whatnot. But I would definitely say look into the paleo diet or Whole30, something along those lines. Those two things will get you headed in the right direction of keeping the weight off. Because I don't want juicing to turn anyone to a vegetarian. I hope that I don't offend anyone by saying that, but I don't think that you should turn yourself into a vegetarian through juicing. But it's a definite great jumpstart. So let's talk to my dad and see what he has to say about it. He did a 15-day juice fast. Juicing is all the rage these days, really popular. Is it a fad diet? Is it worth the time? Could you actually see any results from doing it? That's kind of what we're going to figure out and ask him about today. I want to know everything about his process and what he's done. So, Dad, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, glad to have you. And Talon somewhere around there, I think.
I'm here. Welcome.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
good to be here.
So, we'll start with the why. I mean, why juicing? Why did you want to try that?
Why juicing? Last year, right around the beginning of the year, I had suffered a pretty severe back injury that required surgery, and really took me out of any type of workout program. And then, when I finally did recover, I just started gaining weight, and just really kind of around Christmas time started peaking out around 275. And I just knew I was on my way down the wrong path in terms of health and weight. And it was, producing a lot of bad effects all around, just no energy, no drive. And I knew I had to do something. So I tried to start working out a little bit, but I wasn't seeing the results, and I was still having a lot of health issues. So juicing, you actually introduced me to it, the concept. I watched, I think it was a YouTube video, the Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And I could identify, and I'm like, wow, I really need to do something. So I was headed down the wrong path, so I said I'll give it a try, and that's how I ended up doing the juicing.
I've seen that movie, that video.
Oh, you have seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have seen it.
Well, both of those, there's Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and now there's Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead 2, and I think they're both free on Netflix. So
yeah, I haven't seen the second one. The first one's a big enough motivator. So
yeah, the second one wasn't as good in my opinion, but it was the first one is really all you need to see. But it was good. So I had that movie. I think actually is what introduced me to juicing a few years ago, because I knew that I wasn't getting enough fruits and vegetables easily into my diet, and so I was going to start supplementing with juicing a little bit. And when I bought my juicer, it had that, hey, this is the same juicer used in the movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And I was like, oh, what's this movie? So I watched it. a few years ago, a year or two ago, and really liked it. Got me more intrigued on juicing, and so I wanted to know more about it. But I definitely want to know. We'll go around here. Everyone's opinion, kind of before this experiment, what your opinion was on juicing.
My opinion was because the first thing you do is you go to the internet and start, getting other people's opinions and just researching. And a lot of there's no like middle ground. People either love it or kind of hate it, or they say, "Oh, it's a waste." It's a, So, but the camp that really follows it, you kind of do some positive research, the positive aspects of it, and that's where I just kind of try to keep my focus and stay away from all the negative hearsay or whatever on the net. So there's a lot of research out there, and gets into the the science behind it. I wasn't so interested in that. I was just interested in kind of what people's results were. So I said my first opinion. I was kind of on the fence, but then I just made up my mind and said, yeah, I'm going to do it, and glad I did.
Yeah, so that's awesome. The way you found it. For me, I learned about juicing like basically from the Fast Sick and Nearly Dead, show. Me and Rachel were going through a phase where we were watching like Vegucated, and we watched Fast Sick and Nearly Dead, and we watched, probably 3 other, don't eat meat or eat vegetables or eat better, just kind of documentaries on Netflix or YouTube, and so from that I learned some of the positives, some of the negatives from juicing, but I didn't incorporate it into my life because it just didn't really fit with what I needed. I started eating more vegetables because of those shows, but I didn't start juicing because of it. But I always felt like it was probably a reasonable option because of what I had learned on those. I didn't do the necessary background research like you did before you tried it, though, Tony. But so I felt like it would probably have an effect, like it would have a positive effect. Usually, like our experiments, I have like pessimistic, except for this last one and this one. But this time, I could see it. I could see it taking place.
Yeah, and I think I've always been interested in trying a juice fast more for like, I guess kind of what the dude who created it, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, like a reboot, like just kind of resetting your body. And
yeah,
but I can never bring myself with how much I train and work out and all this other stuff to do just a strict juice fast. I just could never actually pull the trigger. And partly, there's a lot of fear in a juice fast. Like, well, I'm not going to eat food for how long? Like that's just crazy.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of people, I think, out there probably have a ton of fear in being able to accomplish such a task. And I know on their website they have like different plans, and you didn't do like the starter 3-day plan or the intermediate 5 and 7 day plan. You did the full out 15-day juice fast.
Full out 15 days. And you just have to make up your mind, because eating is such an integral part of our life that you miss it when you don't do it. It's like a habit, It's like, man, I really just want something to eat. But you just got to maintain that mindset. And what I did like about the 15-day program, it's not just day one, go off and juice and good luck. He actually ramps you down. It's like a series of smoothies and different soups and everything that kind of ramps you down off of food. And then time you get to day 6, and from there on to day 15 is nothing but juices. But I like the way it kind of ramps you down. It's not just a, hey, surprise, and try your best to keep up. So
okay.
It was your stomach was kind of shrinking, and you kind of got used to just not having that solid food. And then time day 6 got here, it wasn't so bad.
So the first day is not so bad?
No. The matter of fact, the soups he had and the smoothies, those were actually pretty good. I'm like, I might just add this to my weekly routine and eating. So yeah, I like this. So I learned how to make a lot of different soups, a lot of different salad dressings, homemade salad dressings. But I really liked it. So.
See, that's what I thought. Automatically, those first 5 days, I thought like that first day you're just like dying because you're making that dress. I thought it would be a drastic change from eating whole food to eating soups and and smoothies. But yeah. If it eases it into you, even that first day doesn't feel like such a big drastic change, and that's a pretty big positive.
Yeah, throughout the whole program, I never had this like really hunger pains. I never experienced that because it allows you to have a morning juice, obviously a lunch and dinner, but also it has these other times in the day you can juice. So you never feel like you're just going to starve to death. I never felt that way. I always felt satisfied. It's just again, it's the habit of eating.
Yeah.
And I actually went over to some different people's houses during the process, and the worst thing is the smell of hamburger cooking or see somebody eating a steak, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, the one thing
that was
I thought was absolutely crazy. I don't remember what day you were on, but you went to Red Robin with Ken. Ken's my brother, and for everyone else out there. But you actually went to Red Robin knowing that you weren't going to eat there, but you're like, yeah, I'll go hang out. I was like, that's like walking into the lion's den. How on earth did you sit at Red Robin?
I was by myself that weekend, so I'm like, I'll go hang out with you guys. And they ordered cheesy fries and double-decker hamburgers and milkshakes. And I'm like, oh my god. But I made it through. I just sat there and drank my water and had a good conversation. Made them feel bad the whole time.
So,
I said, I hope you feel bad for eating this.
So walk us through a day in the life of a juicer. I mean, I know it's probably pretty because you work from home most of the time. So like, how feasible would this be for someone else? I guess so. Like, how work intensive was it? Like, what was it like for you? Just so other people get a feel for how much work they may have to put into it if they were to do it.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair question. It takes some dedication. I'll tell you. I had prepared some pretty detailed shopping lists because you got to have obviously fresh vegetables and fruits, and I eat more kale in a program I have my entire life. But and I discovered there's like 5 different types of kale and all this, but there's a lot of prep work that goes into it. And the program actually provided you recipes, which was good. But really, they had this rule of thumb. It's like a 80-20 type thing. If you just put 80% vegetables and 20% fruit in anything you make, you can, start to create your own juices. So near the end, I got pretty good at just making some. Well, I enjoyed the juices actually, but just the preparation and the cleanup. So it takes some work. So good little 20-30 minute process just to go through that whole thing and prepare chopping or whatever you're going to do, and then run it through, drink it, and then obviously the cleanup. So you need to have that mindset that I'm going to do this, I'm going to enjoy it, but just stick with it. I will say that your juicer machine, you really need to kind of, I won't say go top end, but don't go cheap either, because the amount of return you get off of what you're juicing is really just if you don't have a good juicer, you're not going to get the full return of the fruit or the vegetable or the most juice out of it. So you're just wasting money. So the one we had is actually the one off that film you mentioned. It's real good. It's I would say it's probably one of the most popular ones if you look it up on online shopping sites. But yeah, it returns the most juice out of your fruits and vegetables, and the pulp that comes out is actually almost dry, so you can tell it's getting everything it can get out of it.
Yeah. So if you were to be going to work every day, do you think would it be possible? Do you think you could actually maybe make all the juice the night before and jar it up or whatever? Do you think you could actually do it?
You could. You just kind of have to be careful on how long you store these juices, because I think they lose some of their value over time. They recommend you don't store it. You drink it as soon as you make it. That'll give you the most impact. But is it feasible to do it the night before, take it to work? You could, but again, it's going to be a lot of work. So I just had fortunate enough to not be traveling as much and just have the ability to make these every day. So I don't know, that'd be tough. I think it'd be tough to try to do it. And I also looked, I said, well, what if you could buy this stuff? Maybe there's some brands you could buy. I never found a brand that really is highly recommended. they always add something in there, like a preservative or
Added sugar.
some type of sugars and fructose and all that. So I never found one that's like a replacement. I could say, okay, I'm going to go to the office today and have to travel, so I'll just swing by the store and buy 2 or 3 bottles of juice and just as my replacement. But I never could find a good brand, so maybe just I didn't find the right one. I'm sure they're out there, but I never found one.
It doesn't cost anything for the program,
Right.
But buying all the ingredients, like you talked about, all the prep work, buying the juicer machine, and all that. Do you think that would? How much would that affect, I guess, a regular person's pocketbook based on their regular everyday habits? Do you think, or how much did it affect yours?
Well, the juicer comes in, I think around at 120 to 150, somewhere around there. So it's a little bit of an investment. The fruits and vegetables, depending on if you go organic on all of that, you're going to spend quite a bit of money. It just depends on what you're going to buy. Yeah, your typical day. I found myself. This was kind of funny. It was snowing or getting ready to snow here, and everybody's making a run on the grocery stores to get their milk and breads and all their comfort foods and hot chocolates. And I'm here buying this buggy full of apples and kale, and everybody's looking at me going, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's going to snow outside." I'm like, "No, I'm juicing it." But everybody starts asking you, but yeah.
So would you say it played a large role in, like, it cost a lot more than a regular 15-day what you would eat diet, or would you say it was about the same of what you would spend, other than the $125?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not tremendously. I did try to keep all my receipts and kind of keep up, but I don't have you a total dollar
right,
amount.
Sure,
but,
no, of course not. But okay. Well, then, kind of leading into the next part, based on what you said, which this is great, by the way. Is that so? Each time, so you prepare, and I know you were trying to prepare with the healthiest and the freshest as possible. So right. each time it took you 20-30 minutes for each meal, each smoothie, if you'd say.
I got pretty good at it around day 7, so maybe not that long. But the soups definitely in the beginning, those took a long time to prepare because you got to chop up everything. Then you have to cook the soup. Then you have to blend the soup, and then I actually put it in an emulsifier or like a bullet thing, so it actually make it a little bit smoother. So you could just drink your soups, but. But around day 7, I get pretty good. So maybe 10-15 minutes. But
okay, so not a huge chunk of people's time getting taken out.
No.
Okay. So I think we got time, money, experience covered for like the actual juicing itself. But let's talk about some of the physiological benefits, like things you experienced. I guess going through juicing. What from this 15-day process beginning to end, how did you feel?
It's funny. I tell you, the biggest thing for me was the weight loss. It once it started, it was just like dropping off. Like I don't even think it was possible. I kept weighing every day, and it was just like 1 or 2 pounds just gone. But throughout the whole thing, I'd lost about 28 pounds. Wow! And you think about that. I look at things now like all these weights or this whatever you're looking at. So I lost that much weight off of my body, and it's tremendous. I'm like, wow, I feel great. Had a lot more energy. So that path I was going down, I spoke about just unhealthy kind of lifestyle and just feeling bad all the time. That kind of just changed, and I started getting more energy and losing weight and the sleep. That's a big thing for me. Is I always had a rough time sleeping, but man, I tell you what, I would just go to bed like at 9 o'clock every night and sleep all the way through the next morning. I'm like, that never happens for me. And I was like, wow, I'm just truly amazed. So whatever's going on in your body with these, you're absorbing all these nutrients. It's just phenomenal what it's actually doing for you in terms of benefits. And there's other little things like. I never had a headache. I thought I'd have headaches because I went cold turkey on a lot of things. No alcohol, no caffeine. I stopped drinking coffee during this process, and so I said, I'm gonna suffer for this, but I didn't. It just I never had a headache. I never felt bad. I just it's a pretty phenomenal health benefits.
So you would say that if you're going to do this program, you really need to buy in probably 100% to see the effects that the drastic effects that you've had and results.
Yeah, my wife, we were doing it together, and she actually went on a trip right in the middle of the program and then came back. So I had she was gone 4 days. So she came back and she went back on the program with me. But she actually, you can't just stop and then start back. We found out that you need to follow the program, ramp down and everything. It's hard you can't have a cheat day, but like you just said, you got to buy into it mentally and just, stick with the program and be tough. But it's also good to have a partner, somebody you can count on, or at least checking up on you. How you doing? Not hanging around any donut shops, are you? Peering in the window.
Yeah, I know I'd shoot you a text every once in a while to see how things are going, but I'm not going to say it was easy. I'm just saying you never seemed to have at least that I saw, a huge mental struggle with it, and I know some days you're like, no, I could really go for some solid food right now, but you never seemed like you had an ultra bad day.
No, I didn't. I just knew there was something big at the end of this goal for me, so I wanted to stick with it throughout the whole thing. And we even talked about coming off of it a day early, just maybe doing some salads and stuff. And I said, no, we're going to do it religiously up to the last day. And I'm going to get up that next morning and weigh. And, I'm going to say I've finished it 100% and not cheat, not deviate. And so it was a goal. It became almost like a contest for me. It's like a game. I'm going to finish this. I'm going to run the good race, and paid off big time. Like you said, it reboot the system. Now I'm trying to focus on eating better, keeping the weight off, and getting back into an exercise program.
That's just so impressive to me. 28 pounds, 15 days, and really not really any hunger pains because of the ramp down. I mean, it's hard for me to even understand, because I would expect there to be hunger pains. I'd expect there to be just extreme hunger pains for me, because I've gone days where I've done a fasting, and so I feel those hunger pains because I'm used to my regular eating schedule. So it's just mind-boggling to me that I guess the ramp down is what plays into it so much, is to get rid of the hunger pains. And that's just
yeah, I think if the ramp down hadn't have been there, it would have been a tough go. 15 days. They say that your first few days are the worst. And what I found was actually day 6 and 7 was the worst. It's so I was kind of liking the soups and stuff. And then all of a sudden you're totally off of food on day 6. And I think it was more mental for me. It wasn't hunger pains, nothing. It was just more mental. You weren't.
It's like you're about to jump off a ledge. You're like, now it's really no food.
Now it's real. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Now I really understand what no food means. But I was surprised myself. And I would actually text you, Jerred, every day with the weight loss update. I was like, it's phenomenal. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe it. I should have took pictures of the scales every morning just as a kind of a, photographic proof. But, people see me now that had just seen me a few weeks ago and go, what's different about you? You look like you lost some weight. And I'm like, yes, I have. So that's a good feeling when people notice.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. For me, I'm really excited, because you mentioned sleep, and we talked about sleep several times in the show, and I mentioned how sleep for me has always been a problem. I've just always been a hard to get to sleep sleeper. So I mean, I think it's just. I wonder if just the healthy, like you said, the nutrients, and maybe just feeling better overall, and just everything playing into it, and how it just makes you maybe. You think it's a mental piece? You think it's really just an all-physiological piece to the sleep aspect of it?
I think it's physiological. I think there's just the tremendous. I wish I knew all the science behind it, but I don't. And tremendous amount of health benefits. And again, just having quality sleep just based off of your diet is just. I think it's kind of an odd thing to say, but. It's true. It worked for me, and I should know, because again, just like you said, you've experienced this once your mind starts racing or whatever in the middle of the night, you can't stop it. You can't shut it off. That's my problem. So I usually get up and, try to do something, watch TV or whatever. A lot of nights I get, on average, maybe 2 hours of sleep. So I started doing things like got the Fitbit and there's some other apps you can get on your smartphone. It measures your quality of sleep.
Right.
It was depressing. I would look at these things and go, I don't die an early death because I never get quality sleep. And so when this was a result of kind of a byproduct, unexpected byproduct of this program, I was like totally sold in. I'm like, yes.
Wow.
So,
so you're getting 2 hours to what were you averaging through the 15 days? Was it 8 hours?
8 solid.
Wow. That's wow. Speaks
Yeah,
for itself there.
I would go to sleep. Like I said, 9 o'clock, I'd get sleepy and I'd just go lay down. I didn't have any problems falling asleep or staying asleep.
Wow.
And boom. Yeah, the first night off, the first day off of the program, you can't go out. Jerry and I would always joke about having these monster, pizzas or whatever. It's going to be my first cheat meal, and it was kind of a joke. But your first day off of it, your stomach's so small now, you got to really kind of be careful. So I actually ate pretty decent, small portioned meals that day, and then I had a glass of wine. And guess what? That night, I woke up like at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I just, felt like I flushed everything down the toilet. But it's just the alcohol. It just affected me, and I think of mixing with food now. It's just, I said, no, I can't do this. So, again, it proves that your diet is everything. What you consume is, the results you're going to get. So, it kind of taught me a valuable lesson.
I think that in and of itself is completely worth it. Of course, all the other benefits because, obviously that's huge to Emily and I, diets and what we eat and everything. But Emily and I might be a little bit off the spectrum when we think everything can be cured through diet, which isn't always necessarily the case. But we're huge advocates of that, and I think it's awesome that you can see that in such a short time period because I think we had this conversation once during your juicing, but if say I were to recommend someone go strict paleo tomorrow and to lose weight or maybe they had a health problem they needed to correct and they do it, it's going to take a little bit of time to correct your diet and to start seeing results, especially, long term. But this is 15 days without food is a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a short period. It's 2 weeks, and you saw every single result that you could see in a 15-day period. So it was just like checking boxes. You're like, yep, like just everything, and it only took 2 weeks, which that's why I think this juicing is so amazing because you can you see all the results in a short time. There's not a workout program where you can I'm going to get stronger in 2 weeks. I'm going to double my bench press or whatever it is, So I think it's really cool that juicing works that quickly in so many different areas of your life. Yeah,
true. If it had been a really slow process and maybe I lost a pound in the first week or, maybe I had a good night's sleep during the program, I would not have been sold. But as the benefits started just multiplying as each day went by, and that just kind of gives you more motivated to stay with the program. And we were actually, the wife and I were talking this evening about maybe we should we ate something today. We're kind of bad. We had a hamburger, and we said, well, this is our cheat day, and so we didn't feel too good afterwards. I couldn't even finish mine. Total hamburger. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? We should just go back to juicing, or at least come up with that's an integral part of our daily diet. So
a hybrid plan of some sort.
Yeah, hadn't quite settled on what direction that's going to lead to, but it's definitely going to be a part of our diet. So I don't know if it'd be daily or just 1 day a week, or maybe just every day, at least replace one meal. Yeah. Possibly be.
I think it's definitely a good supplement. I think juicing long term obviously is not a good strategy, but. And there are certain things that you start to miss if you're getting juice only, like protein and fiber and stuff. But in a shorter time period, it's really healthy. But just the micronutrients, I think that a lot of what people are missing. Because if you look at food, a lot of people only have a macro view of food, and so they're like, how many calories does it have? How many carbohydrates? How much fat? And no one's ever looking. I don't want to say no one, but a lot of people don't look at, okay, the cellular level, what's happening with the micronutrients, what are these vitamins and minerals actually doing for me? And that's where the health benefits come in. Like, yeah, you could lose a lot of weight on some sort of fad crash diet, and then just feel like absolute crap. But this is, I mean, it might be a fad, juicing could be a fad, but you lost a lot of weight, but you also felt amazing by the end of it because of the micronutrient density. So I think it's a great thing to add to your diet, even as a supplement. Right.
Yeah, I think that's the path we're going down. So, and again, it helps to have, we've talked about a partner to do it with, but also to follow a program, not just try to venture out there on your own, but again, following that ramp down program, or at least have recipes, because there's just tons of recipes you can get out on the out online. But that helped me out a lot, just following that program.
I think we covered it all. Talon, do you have any other questions?
No, I really feel like we covered it all. We really just need to. I think we've already kind of set it up perfectly for the conclusion. But
yeah.
So now all we need is your final betterhumanology. Would you say it's approved or disapproved? I know there's no surprises here.
Yeah, let me think for a minute. No, definitely 100% approved.
Awesome.
Better human. Yes.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you being on the show. We will include everything in the show notes as far as the 15-day plan that you found and any other resources we talked about during the course of it. But thanks for being on the show.
Thanks.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Better Humanology podcast. If you want to know about any of the resources we talked about, head on over to betterhumanology.com and check out the podcast show notes. Likewise, we have betterhumanology.com/toolbox, where you can find every resource that we've ever talked about on the podcast. So go check it out. Until next time, here's to becoming a better human.
Your best. Losers always whine about their best.